project, then architectural template, since we are architects and interior designers. We are talking about the creation of walls and creating the structure of these walls. Okay, so what does that mean? That I am using some elements in Revit to create my project. We are starting adding walls. After finishing these walls, you are going to get some plans, right? These plans should include some hatches. These hatches are varied from the beginning to the end of your project. Like if you are using some stone finished walls, for example, you need to specify the structure of this wall, right? So if I ask you what are the layers of the wall, of the stone wall, you will answer like stone, concrete, gap, brickwork, and for example plaster and paint, right? And then you will tell me that this stone is 5 centimeter thickness, this concrete is 10 centimeter or 15 centimeter thickness, and so on. So you are specifying the properties of your walls and telling the layers of that wall. Fine. So today we are going to navigate and dive through the program to know how can I create these walls and use my own types. Fine. Let's give a small example. When you are talking about Revit, it's like a huge bag, which is the program. Okay, the program is a huge bag. This program is dealing with some families, and these families are broken down to types. So if you are using walls, so the families that you are using are the walls. Fine. If you are using a stone finished exterior wall, so the type of the family is that thing. If you are using a gypsum board wall, so the type is the gypsum board wall, and so on. If you are working on doors, so the family is the door. Fine. The door, let's say that you are using a glass door which is 1 meter width, so the type of that family is that door, and so on. That's the logic of working in Revit to get your project. Fine. Let's do that. If you remember, the first thing when you run the product, you are going to access to your units, UN for units. Fine. You will get this project units box. Click on length and select your preferred units, millimeters, meters, or whatsoever. So let's make it meters, for example. Then I want the rounding to be 2 decimal places. So I want to see 2 decimal places after the integer. Please focus, guys. I will give time for questions and answers and everything, and practicing also. Unit symbol, I want the unit symbol to appear. Now I have set my units to meters. Then we have said that you have to access to one of your vertical views to add some levels, and by default you have 2 levels in the architectural template. You can click on the number and change that number from 4 meters, for example, to 3.38, and then you can click on this grab point if you remember that, and you can copy these levels to get some new levels. Fine. You remember these things. I want to mention another thing. You can access to architecture. From architecture, if you remember, you can go to level. This level or this tool gives you the ability to create a new level. Click here to there, for example, and if you remember, I have selected this level and unchecked this box. Check this one, so I will get my symbol here. Fine. I will click on this number to change the number to 3.38 again. And if you remember, we have talked about the blue bubbles and the black bubbles, right? What are the black bubbles?
They are copied, but don't appear.
Yes, they are copied, and you don't have the view appeared here in the floor plans. If you look to your project browser, you will find level 0, level 1, which are the default 2 levels, and you have level 4, but you don't have the 2 copied levels. To show them in the project browser, do you remember the technique? You need to access to view, then plan views, floor plans. Fine. Select the plans that you are requiring to show in your project browser and just click OK, it will automatically take you to your view. Fine. And I have told you also that you can rename your views. Let's make this one ground floor plan, for example. Do you want to rename corresponding views? Yes. Level 1, make it first, for example. I will just write the abbreviations so I can do it quickly. Fine. Second floor plan. Yes. Third. And let's make this one roof. Fine. These are my levels now, and if you look to your project browser, you will find your new names. If you remember, I accessed to one of my floor plans, then we have clicked on WT for window tiling, right? This option, you can find it under view, let's say, and then you can find it here. You have tile windows, and you have cascade windows, and you have replicate windows. Fine. I will talk about tiling, which will show all of the views that you have viewed before in front of you. So if you have viewed two views like this one, I have opened the east project, the east elevation and the ground floor. So now I have them together. If I enlarge this one and click on second, on third, on first, now if you just click here, this will show you the views that you have passed through. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once I click on window tiling, now I will have 5 windows appearing on my screen. Fine. If you don't want them all, just close the ones that you don't want to view and just click WT. Fine. So let's close third floor plan and let's open ground floor, close first floor and open, let's say 3D. Fine. I want to view the 3D view and the ground floor plan. Now I'm starting to add some walls to my project. Fine. Go to architecture. You will find all the tools of architectural elements under this panel. You will find wall and the shortcut is WA. Just click on wall. You will have the ability to control all the settings of your wall. You have the ability to put some constraints, let's say, for your wall. And always keep sure that you are looking to your ribbon. I have told that in the previous class. First of all, it will ask you, what are you specifying for your wall? I am specifying the height. I don't want to specify the depth. I'm not drawing from the ground and going down. I'm specifying from the ground floor and going up. Fine. Just click on height, and then it will ask you, are you connecting your walls to one of your levels? Fine. If you are going to connect it, for example, to the first floor, so your wall will extend from this floor plan, from the ground floor plan to the first floor plan. Fine. If you don't want to connect it to one of your levels, you can just click on unconnected and give a height, for example 5 meters. Fine. It's easy until now. Let's make it connected to the second floor plan, for example, and make sure that you are noticing the 3D. Click here and start drawing. Fine. Let's say that these are my walls. Inside these walls, I will draw another one to the roof floor plan so we can see the difference. Fine. So this one is extended up to the second floor, and this one is extended up to the roof floor plan. Let's say that I can expect what is the height of the second floor plan, which is, let's say, calculator 3.38 multiplied by 2. This is the height of the second floor plan. I will not connect my wall to the second floor plan. I will make it unconnected and I will provide this height. Let's do that. I will come here, WA, and I will choose unconnected 6.76, right? Now I have another wall here which is the same height of the previous one, this one, right? For orbit, you can just click shift and scroll together. Shift, scroll and move your mouse. Okay, now these three walls have the same height of these four walls. But if I go to the east elevation, please notice now, I will go to the second floor plan. I'm gonna select this element and click on this number. Now I will change the height of the second floor plan, and let's see what is going to happen now. I will make it 7 meters. Please look here. Just click enter. These 4 connected walls are changing the height to match this one. These are not changing the heights because they are not connected to the second floor plan. Fine? And this thing works in all the Revit options or objects. If you are having a desk on the ground floor plan, once you change the level of the ground floor plan, the desk will also change its level. Fine? So always make sure that you are using the constraints and you are adding and inserting the correct numbers in Revit. Okay? That's about connecting your walls to the floor plan. So let's go back to our floor. Now, if you can zoom in and check or read this wall, it's combined out of many layers. This one, one, and the other one. Fine? Let's say it's brickwork, it's a gap, it's a reinforced concrete, and it's a plaster, for example. It's the structure of my wall. Now maybe in your company you are not using this type. And easily maybe you are adding some interior walls, so you don't need these layers. I'm going to talk about this topic now. Fine? But before you are setting up your structure, I want to tell you that you can select this wall. You can just change the type from the type selector. If you have the type already prepared for you, you can just select the one that you want. Fine? If you can see, it's changed according to the type that I have just selected, and it's different from this one. Fine? These connections are based on your structure that you are setting and controlling your wall by edit type. Fine? So the first thing that you are using the option or the object, selecting the object or the option from the panel, then you are selecting the type, then you are adding the constraints, then you are drawing inside your viewport. This is the process that you are going to use during working on Revit. Any questions? Okay, let's go deeper. Fine. The other thing that I want to tell you, that if you select this wall, you will have some properties here, some options you can change here, and you can edit the type of the wall, and you will have some other options over here. What are the differences between the options inside the edit type and the options inside the properties palette? The first one are a set of options that are controlling the whole type. What does that mean? The whole type means all the walls that are under the same type. If I draw this wall, click 1, 2, 3, 4, for example, 1, 2, 3. I have too many walls under the same type, right? Now, once I select this wall and change the properties or the options in the properties plate, for example, I don't want it from the ground floor, I want it from the first floor. It will change the constraints or the option on the selected object only, on this wall only. If you see now, I can't view the object because it's above the ground floor plan, but I can see 1, 2, 3 and go on. Why? Because I have just changed an object or selected object option. Fine? If I just click on edit type, let's bring it back to the ground floor. If I just click on edit type and I have changed any of the properties of the type, let's click for example on this solid fill. I will make it solid fill. Okay, before changing it I will set it back to coarse. Now I have them all gray. Fine, I will click this one, I will click edit type, I will change this pattern from the solid fill to the crosshatch. I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna click on the color and select this red one. Just click OK. Now all the walls under the same type are changing their patterns because I have changed the type properties or the type options. Fine? So I have two ways to change or to edit the selected object or the object itself, let's say. The first one is the properties palette. I have some options in the properties palette. Under the properties palette, I will change the options of the current selected object. If I change under edit type, so I will change the whole objects that are under the same type of the selected object. Fine? We should get familiar with that thing. Now, let's draw some walls and create a small design for a plan. Let's say that you are using this one, for example. Without considering any design issues, I will have this thing. Fine? Let's say I will use another wall here. Now you can check, I have all the walls out of the same type. I want to change this one and use another type. I will click on type selector and go down. I want to choose one of the curtain wall families. Let's select this one. Now I have this. If you remember, I will select this one. I'll change another, another type. Let's select this one. Now I have these types. And I will add some interior walls in my project. This one to this one. I'm gonna align this guy to this guy, AL for align. Then I'm gonna click on this wall, right click, create similar. I will create the same wall here. Fine? Create similar. I'm gonna select this. Fine? I will trim, modify, trim this guy to this guy. It's not connecting anyways. Align. Fine? Now the issue is that you have just finished your conceptual design and you are going into the details of that wall. You are going to change the layer of this wall, the thickness of this wall, the shape of this wall, the patterns of this wall, everything about this wall. You can just select this one. Fine? Let's go to edit type. Under edit type, I'm going to create a new type and name it like, let's say, interior 10 or 100 millimeters thickness. So you can just click on duplicate. It will create a copy. Let's name it interior wall dash 150, for example, millimeters dash, or let's make it here, gypsum board. Fine? Click OK. Now you have the new type here. Now once you duplicate your type here, you will create a new one. It will only affect this wall because it's the only wall on this type. Fine? What are you going to do? I'm going to create some layers to my walls, which is, let's say, 10 centimeters gap and 1.2 millimeters gypsum board on the right, 1.2 millimeters gypsum board on the left. Let's make it double board and double board on both sides, so we'll get the dimension. Fine? To change the structure of your wall, just access to edit type and click on edit. You will get to this new box. This new box will ask you to build up your wall. Fine? Any wall in the construction buildings field has a core, and that core has the finishes combined with it, right? So I will have, for example, the metal studs for the gypsum board. This is the core. And I will have the gypsum board panels. These are the finishes. For the brick wall, I will have the brick itself as a core, and then I will have the plaster and paint as finishes layer. For the double wall, you will have the brickwork, the two brickwork is the core, and then you will have the finishes outside and inside, right? For the stone wall, for example, you will have the concrete as a core, and you will have the stone as an exterior finish cladding, and you will have the air gap and the brickwork and the plaster on the inner side of that core. Now in Revit, it will tell you that you will have two core boundaries. This core boundary for the exterior side and this core boundary for the interior side. So inside these two lines, you will add your core. If it's a brickwork, so you will add a brickwork here. If it's a metal stud, you will add a metal stud here, and so on. Fine, guys? These are the two core boundaries. Inside these two core boundaries, you will add your core material, the structural material, that if you remove this part of the wall, it will collapse. Fine? You understand that, guys? It's the most important part of our course, by the way. So let's add the brickwork here. I will make it structural material, and then I will explain what is the function. Under the material, I will add brickwork or metal sheet. If it's metal sheet, add a metal sheet. Now I will, let's say it's a brickwork, it's better for you guys, okay? So I will add from this button my material. I will access to the material browser. Fine? I will do it fast in front of you, and then I will re-explain that so you can understand the whole idea. I will create a new material. Under the new material, I will name it brickwork. Okay? Under the brickwork, I will go to graphics. Then I will add a cut pattern, so in the plan or the section I can see the hatch of the brickwork. Now I have the pattern. I will select the color of that pattern. Okay? I will not access to appearance because I don't care for it now. So I gave a name, then I gave a pattern, click OK. Now I have the brickwork material assigned to my core. Here I will add a 0.1 meter thickness. Fine? After that, I need a finishing material here and a finishing material here. I don't want it to be insulated, so I will delete this layer, and the finished layer I will add a plaster material. Create a new material the same way. I will name it plaster. Fine? Go. It's in use. I will name it plaster 01. Okay? I will go to graphics. Under graphics, I will click on concrete. Okay, I will select my color. Let's make it red so you can know what is the exterior side and what is the interior side. Now I have the plaster here. I will make it 0.25. Sorry, 0.025. Fine. I will add another layer, move it down. Now I have the exterior side finishing. I will copy this material, Ctrl C, and I will paste it, I will paste it here. Fine, and I will make it 0.025. Now I have combined all the layers of my wall. I have choose the material of my wall. I have also assigned the functions of each layer of that wall. Now I'll make this function finish 5, for example, this function finish 5, and I will tell you what are these functions. Now it will tell me all the information about my wall. It's a basic wall, it's interior wall gypsum board, I will rename it, and it's 0.15 meters. Fine? I'm gonna click OK. Now I have my type created. I will rename it brickwork. Fine, guys? I will tell you what are these options later on. I'm gonna click OK, and I'm gonna change my details levels to 5. If I zoom in, I will have the ability to view my wall. It's the brickwork layer, it's the plaster layer, and it's the other plaster layer. Now, what are the core boundaries that we have talked about during the explanation? You see this line? It's the core boundary. This line, it's the core boundary. So it's not an additional layer. It's only telling you that these are the two lines. In between, you want this brickwork. Outside, towards the exterior side, you need the finishing layers. For the interior part, you need that layer. Fine, guys? Let's do it again. Okay. I'm copying this wall from this side to this side. Now, after copying it, I'm gonna select my wall. I'm gonna create a new type. For example, it's a gypsum board now. Okay? I'm gonna click on edit type, duplicate. Again, I'm going to give a name. Let's name it gypsum board again. And then I'm going to click OK. Fine. Under the brickwork, now I'm going to go to edit. Here, I will not click, choose brickwork. I need a metal stud. So I will click on materials. Let's create a new material, and then I'm going to give it a name. Either it's a metal stud or it's a gap. You can select whatever you want. Let's click or type metal stud. You can just go to graphics and select your pattern if you need one. So I'm going to select this one. It's a block work. Let's have the steel. Okay. I'm going to give it a blue color, for example, and click OK. Now I'm going to change the blaster to gypsum board, right? I'm going to click over there, create a new material, identity. I will make it gypsum board. Fine. Any questions, guys? Under gypsum board, I'm selecting the hatch, the colors, OK and OK. Insert. I will copy this name and paste it here. Under the finishes, I will make it finish 5. Here I will make it 0.0125. I'll make this one 0.0125. I'm going to copy this one, paste it here, 0.0125, and then insert and make it also finish 5. I will copy this one, I'll paste it here. Copying the name means that I'm using the same material, okay? 0.0125, click OK, click OK. Now I have changed the type. Fine? Okay, guys, that's the method of creating a new type of your walls and adding the structure of that wall. I want you to open the program and create the same types.